We're not talking about Watchmen. We're not talking about Vigilante issue 0 today. But both of these are connected to the end of the Justice League of America. Scars of Steel, part 3 of 4, issue 260, 1987. It's also a crossover, Legends, chapter 14. This is the more we do this, aka Powders, the more I realize this is the era of American comic books. What DC is doing in a few short years is the era. It's comic books at its height. And yes, they happen to be superheroes. And there we go, aka Powders. On this channel, we talk about great single issues. When it comes to Justice League, when it comes to the real end of a Justice League era, this is the end. And I hate this term, but people call this Justice League team, and this is Steel here. They call it Justice League Detroit, and they call it Justice League Detroit because they're in Detroit and blah, 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 blah. That was their headquarters. Martian Manhunter is the leader, which is great because I love the formula of like young characters with a veteran character like plugged right into, and it's like one familiar face, and we use that familiar face to charge us into new characters, new designs, new personalities, and new power sets. Justice League Detroit is a famous failure, but it's one of the most successful series ends. And this is one issue away from the end of the series. This issue has been with me since I was a kid. I've read it a dozen times. This issue is so effing good. Here's the wild thing, though. I believe I only had the next one. I never got the two that came before this. That's going to change because we're about changing lives and reading comic books on this channel. Let's hit that drawing table. So before we get into this, I just want to show you guys. I was trying to live stream this the other night. This is Rage from the New Warriors. Also, Rage from the Avengers. I was live streaming, and it was a blurry mess. Whatever reason, my camera did not want to focus at that time. Hey guys, it always happens. But we still did about 90 minutes. I'm going to be live sometime soon to finish this. But I pretty much have like a run of drawing characters in like a destroyed, broken state. And you look in yourself and you always say, like, where does that come from? The end of the Justice League 260, 1987. I was knee-high to a grasshopper when I got familiar with this comic. The fate of Steel in this issue, and yes, the cover is inside the book. This, I don't know for sure, right? Because we all know our psyche, but I want to say this is highly influential to me drawing like destroyed comic book characters. So let's get into it. And before we crack that open, we've been talking about this a lot recently. I'm going to go on record and saying Justice League issue 261, right? We're at one of the all-time series ends. These 4 issues, I'm telling you, I'm just saying it based on the quality of this. They are incredible issues. This is one hell of a series tie-up. Like, it's one of the best endings ever. Vigilante issue 1 all the way to Vigilante issue 50. I don't want to get I don't want to show you guys too much of this. This is long. I've said that this is the greatest comic book ending, greatest comic book finale of a series of all time. Now the difference is one of them is a side character in a overarching superhero comic book universe. right, side character. He's like D level, right? Ridge Lane, he's like D level. But when we deal with the A-listers, this is elevated. This issue now is there. This issue also borrows, and we want to say there's like a level one upsmanship. I just found this, by the way. I could not locate my issue of Watchmen. That's when you hate your life. The 9-panel grid. We can maybe say that the 9-panel grid infected people who were of the era. And maybe at times they wanted to tell stories using their own 9-panel grid with their own solutions, which we get. We get. So be mindful of that, because there is a time where everything is connected to Watchmen, not story-wise, just impact-wise. And guys, excuse my drawing table, it's a complete mess. We open up with Marcia May and Hunter completely getting nuked, completely getting wrecked by an android. Now, this android previously killed Vibe. So Vibe from the team is dead. We have Luke McDonald, penciler, Steve Mantello, guest inker, one of the all-time greats, and J.M. Diamandis. That's our boy. He's one of the staple writers at the time. So Martian Manhunter tries to reason with this guy. This guy wants nothing to do with it. He tries to go inside the mind. You know, we all know the Martian Manhunter tricks. And we can already see the 9-panel grid. We break it up. We have one long panel here. We have one long panel here. We have one landscape panel here. And then Martian Manhunter just all gas, no quit, rips off this dude's arms just like a Wookiee, right? Just like a Wookiee. You rip off the arms. And, dude, completely eradicates the guy's head. Like, how awesome is that? And yeah, all systems down. And this guy's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. You killed Vibe. Gypsy here is like, dude, he is dead. He's deader than Disco. Martian Manhunter's like, I'm going to kick that freaking head. I'm going to kick that. I'm going to punt that head. I'm roofing it. I'm roofing that head. Let me get to Vixen and Steel. So Steel's a cyborg, okay? He's a cyborg. These guys are not robots. They're androids. As referenced, as stated in in this very issue. Vixen here, she is dating, banging, sleeping with a cyborg. Now, he bugs out. He's like, look, girl, I gotta get out of here. Our friends are dying. There's something else happening within the story. This is where I wish we had editor notes. But these guys cannot be superheroes any longer. It's almost like they're not allowed to wear their costumes. They get into such a heated exchange. And guys, let me know. Let me know in the comments. What is your solution for this? Or what are panels that sell this? He slams the door. I mean, want to focus on the door. You know, just boom. How do we illustrate that? Because I feel like, right, there's all kinds of ways to do this. And there's so many different preferences. But some more effective, some aren't. Do we have a better door slam panel? Let me know in the comments. But he storms out, turns 360, goes into the phone booth, comes out. He is all decked out. He's dressed. He's like, I'm wearing my costume. Look, or I'll dismantle you. Look at this guy. Look how he talks to her. Move away from the door, Vixen, or I'll dismantle you. They have a little moment. He walks right past her, and then she with the booty. It's just like, very nice view, by the way. She's probably just like, you know, this is a nice day. The birds are out. The clouds are out. Yeah, I don't care. Let him go. So, I don't know who, again, this is why we need editor's notes. I know I said these are like the years in American comics, but we we need some of that Marvel editorial. We need some of those editor's notes. We need captions. We need to be called up. This guy is just having a complete mental breakdown, and you can see in his own mind he's talking to a psychiatrist. On the contrary, Professor, I'm trying, I'm trying to lead you out of confusion, and then it's like, boom, you're literally in a pad itself. This is where it gets intense. So as soon as Steele hits the street, people are like, again, somebody better call the cops. Police. We need police. So Shield is just wearing a costume, walking down the street, and he's getting heat right away. But we get some awesome, like, I love all the cityscape solutions here, especially this one with the guy. I don't know why. That's a very Baroque building. It works. You goddamn freak. Get off the street. The cops pull up. The cops whip out their guns. This is great because, again, we're using a 9-panel grid. You can end one scene and begin the next scene with a 9-panel grid. Yes, the grid literally is your box as a storyteller. So you can break form. You can break the panel with that giant finger. That giant finger. You're one of the androids. And we get a little bit of this deconstruction where Gypsy's, these are the end of days. And I guess like I never realized it. Gypsy's like a teenage girl. She's like their Jubilee. And, Manhunter's like her mentor. Vixen, we have no exposition. Vixen is on the rooftop. She's clearly looking. She's looking for her boy Steele in his costume. She's also in costume. But by the time she catches up to him, Steele is fighting the android. And he drags him into an alley. I mean, what a cool sequence. I love panels like these too. It's just like, you don't need words. Like, it's just, you know what's happening. Kill every last one of them. Thank God. Gordon Joffrey. And Steele just like jumps over. Like, he leaps over all of these people. All of these a-holes. Like, especially this guy. Like, look at this a-hole. Like, how are we staring at his crack? But look at that well-drawn figure. Nice silhouette here. Like, this is an animatic, but it's not an animatic because it's actually, like maybe down the street, a block away. Very nice logistics for that animatic. And the android's like, I was created in my father's image. I share his hopes, his dreams, and his hatreds. No, Steele, I'm not a machine. Are you? Then he basically tells him, he's like, I'm an android. You're a cyborg. I have feelings. And they kind of call each other like out. They're almost like both calling the kettle black. They're like, you're not a person. You have no soul. You're soulless. Blah, blah, blah. Steele is pissed that Vibe is dead. So he just wants to beat it out of this guy. Look, what excuses did he come up with for that one? I mean, he's referencing the death of Vibe. And he's like, look, dude, he's like, I was designed to fight you. Like all living things, I am unique. I was created specifically to destroy you, and the destruction begins. And look, he's just like nukes him in the face. Just right there, man. Like all that pink bubble gum in his face. And he's just, look, he's screaming. Look, I never heard anybody scream like that. And he comes out of the alley, and his face is so, like, I love it, right? Like the cover, right, becomes a panel. He gets shot in the back. He falls down, and essentially he gets like his like power cells, like whatever, but he just explodes from the inside, like right here. And they say he exploded or like held down his own explosion in a way where he saved everyone's lives. And Martian Manhunter like shows up, a day late in the buck short. This is your team, bud, and this is where they're like worst team leader ever. And here we go. And he's just in agony. He's like, get me out of Detroit. Let me go. And look, dude, even the cops are like, sorry, Manhunter, but I can't but you can't take him anywhere. Martian Manhunter's like, watch me, just like flies off. So this is this is the grandfather. This is like the original Steel. He recreated. It's almost like a very $6 million man or $1 million man, whatever. He remakes his grandson, gives him all the Sovereign Night game plan, saves his life, and then is here watching him die. Like, he just freaking dies. The final chapter is next. And guys, a little bit of a spoiler. The next chapter, our girl here, Vixen, she gets it. And I think Gypsy's the only one that survives Justice League Detroit. And I don't think she ever came back either. And Steel, like, kind of Jeff Johns, Alex Ross brought Steel back in Justice Society. I'm more, just for being on record, I am so much more of a Justice League Society guy than I am Justice League of America. Justice League of America stems, like, the Justice Society came first. And I don't know why. It should never went away. It's a staple team for DC, and in my view, a bigger franchise of way more potential than Justice League of America. But guys, this is like a 50 cent. I mean, look, back in '87, this retailed for 75 cents. That's how much this issue is worth right now. Get yourself this book.